Live from Arkansas' streaming news leader, this is THV 11 Morning News at 7 on THV 11 Plus.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us here on THV 11 Plus. Ashley, Hayden, Karen, Tracy in the house. First day of school for a lot. Before we get going, everybody, if you don't mind taking a segment, my niece and nephew starting their first day at Greenbrier today. So a special shout out to them. First day of school.
Do you think they're there already? It's only 7.
It's only 7. I don't know. Hey,
early.
Madeline's brother and sister-in-law, they may have him out the door.
Let's go.
There you go. Let's go. So I don't know.
Now, at Greenbrier, they will take the bus, or is it?
No, they'll take him. No, I think Madeline's brother drops him off.
Yeah.
Or
And
Abby, I don't know.
Your wife actually starts
First day at Episcopal.
Yeah.
That's right.
How about that?
Yeah.
Here we go.
Hey, we got Baldwin,
Our,
Cersei, Arkadelphia.
Our spouses are now co-workers.
How about that?
And we're co-workers.
How about that?
So that's awesome.
Small world.
Yeah, and so my daughter's starting her senior year, which
Oh man, how is that?
oh, it's a little weird. Yeah, and I've been already texting, send pictures, and if you don't, are you getting this? I need pictures this morning. So
That's awesome.
I'm excited for them.
Oh, if they only knew what it meant to us, though, you
Yeah.
know, so that they would send us those pictures.
I know, I've given directions. I said, I need a picture of Lainey by herself, one by her car, because the seniors decorate their car for the first day, and one of Dad and Lainey together. So I better get those if you're watching right now. Yeah,
I want to wish little Hannah in Greenbrier as well. So number 3 kid, Lauren, she's a nanny for a little girl, Hannah, and she's been her nanny in the afternoons for quite some time. Anyway, so Hannah starts school today. So, you know,
it's a big day.
It's my nanny grandkid, if you will.
Your nanny grandkid.
You said Greenbrier, right?
Yep.
How about that?
Yep.
Big shout out to Greenbrier this morning.
So Hannah, have a great day. I can't wait to hear all about it.
Well, I hope everybody can get there on time. And right now it looks like it shouldn't be a problem around Central Arkansas because traffic looks pretty good. We're seeing green, which is what we like. That is our favorite color, especially if you're an Episcopal Wildcat. Yeah, so green is good. Right now we're seeing the traffic moving, it's flowing, which is good. But there are a couple of areas, you know, Alexander on I-30, it always slows down about this time. We're also seeing that it's slow right here. Glen Rose, they have had some slow traffic as they're heading back to school, getting adjusted, going 32 miles per hour northbound and southbound 24 miles per hour here on US 67. It's just a beautiful morning. Look at this shot right now. Traffic is moving right along and our drive times are pretty good too. Going into downtown Little Rock, if you're just trying to head to work this morning, 70 miles per hour is our average speed coming from Conway, 24 minutes into downtown Little Rock, 21 minutes if you're coming from Benton, and an average speed of 52. It just slowed down just a little bit just then if you're coming from Cabot at 22 miles or 22 minutes into downtown Little Rock. So Tracy, it looks good.
Yeah, not too bad. I'm going to hit this bus stop forecast one more time. I know most of the kids have already caught the bus, but we're going to talk about the rest of the day too. If you are heading out the door, again, we're starting with sunny skies, warm and humid out there, and those temperatures are trying to get to 80 too early this morning, if you ask me. We could see some of those pop-up showers again this afternoon, and those could linger into the ride home as well. So not necessarily expecting a ton of rain, but again, those pop-up shower possibilities are there. Looking at your day hour by hour, again, plenty of sunshine today. Watch for a few raindrops. Those could extend into the early evening, but looking for that high right around 93, 94, and that heat index value could be right around 100 this afternoon. We'll talk more about this forecast, and it's going to warm up, friends, by the weekend. We'll talk about how hot coming up.
Well, as you well know by now, it's a big back-to-school day for families across Arkansas, students and staff in nearly 40 districts across the THV 11 viewing area. Here they all are, y'all, starting today, getting it going.
And that includes Benton and Bryant, where THV 11's Tamer Night is live in Saline County with a preview of what's ahead this year for the Benton Panthers. Good morning, Tamer.
Well, good morning, Karen and Hayden. A lot of buzz is going around Saline County, but even more so in Benton. As you can see behind me, students are starting to arrive at Benton Junior High. And in Benton, the district is coming off for a record-setting school year with state softball champs, men's 5A district basketball, and a host of awards in the classroom as well. Now, they're starting the year with a new leader as well. I spoke with the district's new superintendent, Dr. Chris Snell, who is excited to return to the district. He was a teacher, administrator, and head basketball coach at Benton for several years before leaving the district 10 years ago. Last week, Dr. Snell addressed his more than 600 staff members for the very first time. He says his goal for the district are safety, building strong connections, connections, and creating the best outcomes for students and staff. Here's what he told me about the year ahead.
The Benton School District is a great district, serves an awesome community, and we want to build on our past successes and offer even more things for our students. So yeah, super excited about the future of the school district.
Now we know Benton and Bryan are also getting ready for the return of the Salt Bowl, coming back to Saline County after years at War Memorial Stadium. Benton is hosting it on August 29th, and with the change, Dr. Nell assured everyone there will be different ways to watch and connect with the game for people inside the stadium and at home. Now, here at Benton Junior High, as I mentioned earlier, students are starting to arrive, and just down the street is the high school, and we see those students arriving as well. If you're headed out this morning, please make sure you drive safely and have patience as students and buses return to school. For THV 11 News, I'm Tamer Knight.
About 45 minutes until that first bell in Benton, so time to get going.
Little butterflies in the tubby. Thank you, Tamer. We are also tracking big changes for both students and teachers this year. There is the cell phone ban and free breakfast, and now a new Arkansas law that gives teachers more power to keep classrooms safe. Act 565, passed during the session, allows teachers to remove violent or disruptive students from the classroom. And instead of returning soon after, those students then must meet with their parents, teachers, and administrators to come up with a behavior plan. Bill sponsor, State Representative Scott Richardson of Bentonville, says he wants more legislation to ensure disciplined students get the help they need.
Have an opportunity to actually sit at the table and make a case for the student, because they should know the student best, but also make a case for what's the right approach to helping them address those challenges moving forward.
Richardson says another bill presented on these issues also failed to pass. U.S. Secretary of Education Linda McMahon made a stop in Little Rock as part of her Returning Education to the States tour, which will include all 50 states. McMahon spent time Tuesday with Governor Sanders and Senator Tom Cotton at Don Roberts Elementary, visiting classrooms and sitting down with Arkansas teachers and administrators for a roundtable discussion. Outside, a small group of parents were protesting, saying they oppose McMahon's appointment and her supporting the shutdown of the Department of Education at the federal level. The tour comes as federal and state leaders debate the role Washington should play in public education.
Developing this morning, dozens of Hot Springs residents are without a home after an overnight fire destroyed their apartment complex on Monday. Hot Springs fire officials say lightning sparked the flames, leaving the building beyond repair and displacing 21 people. Now listen to this. Two neighbors say they were the first to arrive. Acting quickly, they helped save several lives before firefighters arrived.
I was on the secondary floor, and he got two couples out. And then I had ended up getting a couple out on the secondary floor, and he ran all the way down to the bottom floor and knocked on the door. They came out, knocked on another door. No one answered.
Somebody hollered out something about kids being in there. And I don't know, it just kind of snapped, and I just ran over there, and I went. And you got to go all the way through their living room, and there was a hallway that took a right, and they were hunkered down in the hallway where they really weren't in the smoke.
Heroes in Hot Springs, the Red Cross and other community members were also on site working to provide support and resources for those affected.
Very worried that he might have been involved in this shooting today. I don't know if he was involved. I need some help.
You are hearing the desperate 911 call from the father of a man who opened fire at the CDC in Atlanta last week, killing a police officer. Authorities say 30-year-old Patrick Joseph White fired hundreds of rounds. He was protesting COVID-19 vaccines before taking his own life. The Georgia Bureau of Investigation says White had expressed suicidal thoughts weeks before the attack and left writings showing his anger over vaccinations. Outside the CDC last night, healthcare workers and gun safety advocates called for tougher gun laws and renewed violence prevention funding.
There's nothing that we advocate for that is to take away firearms. It's really treating gun violence as a public health crisis, as the #1 cause of death for children in our state. That is a health crisis.
The CDC says it continues to support its staff and their families in the aftermath of this tragedy.
Today, President Donald Trump will hold a virtual meeting with Ukrainian and European leaders 2 days before sitting down with Russian President Vladimir Putin. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky insists any peace deal must involve Ukraine and Europe and warned Russia may be preparing a new offensive. The White House says Friday's talks at Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson in Alaska are meant to be a listening session with only one side of the war present.
The president has deep respect for all parties that are involved in this conflict and are trying to bring this conflict to an end. This is a listening exercise for the president. Look, only one party that's involved in this war is going to be present.
The White House says the long-term goal is to get Putin and Zelensky to the table for direct talks.
A new report shows inflation held steady in July, yet many Americans worry over tariffs and how they could affect the economy.
Food prices improved slightly, but staples like eggs and beef are still up, driven by those ongoing shortages. However, some good news, gas is down about 30 cents a gallon from last year.
Overall, the inflation rate stayed at 2.7%. Economists warn, though, that tariffs on some foreign imports, including furniture and tools, could change that.
Investors are watching closely. They hope the latest inflation numbers, along with a weaker than expected July jobs report, might encourage the Federal Reserve to lower interest rates.
And the Fed's next meeting is set for September. Now let's turn back to Ashley King with a check of the roads this morning. Ashley?
Hey, yeah, right now looking at the Bryan School District and how things are going right now. And it looks like things are a little bit slow around the school, but not too bad. Just looking 24 miles per hour to 29 miles per hour right there around the schools. And yeah, welcome back to school. If you go to Bryant, we're going to get a look at how things are looking around the Benton School District, around the high school. The junior highs are all right there together too. So not looking bad right now, but yeah, it's back to school for so many. Tracy, we want to make sure everybody's getting there on time.
Well, weather shouldn't be impacting the commute this morning, especially here in central Arkansas, most of the state. We are watching some showers, a complex of storms pushing into southwestern Arkansas, and we are watching all of these storms that are coming in from the Gulf. They are being routed on east. So again, those aren't impacting us at all, and we're seeing everything really just flow eastward and northeastward this morning. Here across our state, again, just a few clouds out there this morning. Not anything that should impact your commute this morning. As far as school goes, again, maybe just a little traffic, but Ashley's going to get you through all of that. We are looking for a future radar here for a few storms this afternoon, those pop-up afternoon storms. Those are going to be when the afternoon gets that heat. They're going to heat up and we'll see some of these storms develop. And some heavier rainfall could come from a few of these. This is going to be around 5:30, and then it's going to be kind of a rinse and repeat situation as we're heading into Thursday as well. But today is going to be the biggest widespread rainfall that we will see. Friday is going to be more of the same, of just those very, very spotty showers. Now, we do need the rain. We've got several counties that are in burn ban 7 as of now. I'm going to have to keep checking that because more are added periodically, but we'll talk more about that. And then that heat that's coming for us this weekend, we'll talk about how hot it could feel coming up in our forecast.